CVA's AccuraSeries, Agara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being brought to you by 3rd Regiment Game Calls. Friends, family, and faith in the outdoors. One call at a time.
No, he's...
All right, everybody. This week's Fish of the Week's being sponsored by the folks over at Flowers Deer Processing and Garden Center. They'll be getting those knives sharpened up by September the 28th and be ready to take care of all your deer processing needs. Matter of fact, they're in the house tonight, and they got a fantastic recipe for us here in just a little while. We're looking forward to see what Mr. Evers got for us. All right, we told you guys we had some trail cam photos tonight. Our first one tonight was sent over by Kevin Toon. This is a pretty neat picture here. He just appears to be setting his arm up over top of that that doe, maybe sure just patting her on the back or something. I don't know what he's doing, but that's a pretty neat picture there. We appreciate that one, Kevin. This one is one of my favorite ones I saw today. I tried to pick out a few. This is from Dakota Cantrell, and this is just a, you almost couldn't have sat down with a camera and took a picture any better than that. Him standing in that snow like that.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Very pretty picture, so we appreciate that, Dakota. And this one here, this is from Glenn Schurenberg, and this camera caught him as he was heading out on a successful day, heading back to the truck with his deer. So
I know Glenn.
Congratulations on that, and Anthony says hello. We appreciate the picture. And then here's the one we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
this is a neat picture.
It sure is.
This is from Gordon McFarland, and we're not sure if this coon ever made a return trip back to this feeder or not, but I would say he probably had a bad day shortly after this picture was taken. This was a picture of a pretty darn big rattlesnake coming in on top of that coon.
Yep.
So we appreciate that coming from Gordon. And you guys keep those pictures coming to us again on Facebook. You can send them to us there. We'll get them on the show just as quick as we can, and be sure to get on there and join in that contest. Send us your photos. Again, you know, we reiterate, we're not looking for the biggest buck, anything like that. We're looking for your neat trail cam photos. When those things are sitting out, you know, a lot of times you get some of the neatest pictures of things that sometimes it's not just like the rattlesnake and the coon. Sometimes it might not even be a deer at all.
I've got one that it was you see a squirrel's face up there, and his paw is up there. It's almost like he's knocking to see if anybody's home.
Right. I sure do. He's probably looking in that lens, looking at himself or something.
I thought that is
we
a cool
get
picture.
some funny coon pictures every year. I've had one time I got a red-tailed hawk coming in grabbing a squirrel just as he left the ground with him.
I've got a cool one of a quail. The quail is turned, you know, it's like he's banking, and it's a red-shouldered hawk right on his tail, banking too.
Yeah, both of them.
Yes.
It's amazing what you can catch.
So I know
when
it
you have
didn't
those
end good for
cameras
that quail,
sitting out
I'm
there.
going to tell you.
Oh yeah, he probably didn't have a good day, did he?
No,
he
sure
probably didn't. Oh me. Well, you know, I hit just a second ago on. We're going to be going out tomorrow to the farm, and one thing I do, you know, as we kind of get closer to the season, a lot of people think of it as being a little too early, but we set up mock scrapes right now. And as the deer start to come off the mineral sites and kind of back off of those a little bit, when the velvet starts shedding, which hadn't happened yet, but when it does,
some of them
they tend to back off of that mineral.
Yeah.
Well, the next way we keep tabs on our bucks is I use mock scrapes, and they work fantastic. We'll just go out. I'll usually look for a field edge somewhere I know they're coming in close to the corner of a field or something like that. Set that mock scrape up, and we'll actually be showing some products here in just a little bit that you can use for those. But there's a variety of things out there you can use to set up a scrape. I usually just take a garden rake out with me and clear the ground and put whatever product in there. And I like to have an overhanging limb. You know, you don't have to, but if you'll have that old licking limb hanging over top of it, it's a great way to keep up with those bucks from now on leading up into the rut.
I've got a good licking limb right now. I got a camera on. They lick on it every year.
Yeah. And it's not even just bucks. I mean, I have just as many does swing by the
And some people think, though, they just do that during the season.
Right.
But they don't. It's almost like a calling card to let every other deer know that they're coming through there.
It's a means of communication for them. I mean, that's basically, you're exactly right. I mean, they're saying, hey, I've been here, I'm heading this direction, so on and so forth.
And I'm still alive. I didn't get shot. I'm still around.
I made it last year. Come find me.
That's right.
That's right. But that's one of the things that we do every year on all the farms is set up these mock scrapes, and it's a great way to inventory those deer until you get on up into the season where you can catch them on other ways as far as when they get to chasing. But if they come walking within a distance of that mock scrape, they're gonna stop and check it out,
sure
give you
are.
a picture.
Right.
And it's just, and it might anything from a button buck to a 5-year-old deer. It doesn't matter.
Here's
They all
another good
swing
question.
by.
Is he going to walk 5 miles to a white oak acorn, or is he going to eat what he can find?
Well, it depends on how hungry he is.
Yeah.
I mean, deer, in my opinion, they do seem to prefer white oak acorns. If you've got a hillside with 10 red oaks and a white oak, I'm hanging my stand on the white oak.
Yep, me too.
But they'll eat any of them. They'll eat a chinkapin. They'll eat a
What I'm saying, though, ain't white
sawtooth.
oaks and stuff, they ought to start falling fairly
They're
soon.
starting to come on down. I've seen a few hitting the ground, not many, but that'll change a lot over the next couple of weeks.
Mike Adams, he was telling me down at his house, he said red oaks are falling left
They
and
start
right
to hit the
down
ground.
there.
Yeah, I'd say red oaks are probably starting to
Right.
come on down. And another great early bow season, acorns, man, you can't hardly beat being on a little acorn
Yep.
ridge side
Or something
somewhere.
that's going to drop a persimmon or two.
Yeah, and there seems to be, and you guys have probably seen the same thing, but there's particular trees that those deer prefer over other trees. I mean, I've got one place we hunt that there's a ridge that's probably got 15 or 20 trees on it, but I promise you, from the beginning of bow season on, your chances of seeing them under this one particular white oak tree we have are probably 8 to 1 against any other tree on that hillside every single
I
year.
wonder what it is, too. If that acorn just tastes better
Or
than
the
the rest of
contour,
them.
or the way the land lays. You got
I
me?
think a lot of it, well, it could be really a combination of each, but this particular place, the trees are all in the same, right on the same area. I almost think it's like you got one tomato plant that produces a certain taste of tomato, and the one beside it might have a little bit better tomato, a little sweeter and whatever. And I just think certain trees, they produce a better tasting acorn to them. And it also with contour, it could be a lot to do with how easily they can access them once they hit the ground. But there does seem to be those dominant trees.
Yes,
and if you
it
can
does.
find one of those dominant trees, a lot of times that's the place to be in early bow season.
And that's something, Brandon, that I promise you, I bet you 80% of the hunters never think about.
They don't. It's little things that happen right in front of us all the time that sometimes
It's
we
the
just
ability
don't
to
pay
picture it and
attention
see
to
it. That's
Yeah.
right. That's what
Just-
it is.
Just kind of say, well, wait a minute. Last bow season they was all under that same tree. 80 yards away from me.
Yep.
And eventually you make that shift to that tree, and you'll be in the money.
You sure will.
So that makes a big difference, I think, is just getting on the right food sources. Because again, until they get ready to really start chasing, even the oldest bucks, they've got one thing on their mind right now, and that is food. They want food, bed and cover, and water, and they're going to be where they can get those three things as close to one another as possible.
Without having to, I mean, they don't like to conserve a lot of energy when it's hot like this.
Yeah.
I mean, they might spend all day long in a 50 square yard area and never move out of it.
They absolutely, they do that a lot.
And people don't realize that. A lot of people say, man, the bucks are gone. Well, no, they're not gone. They're just not where you think they are.
Well, I told you, there was a particular buck that I have just worn myself out over trying to get a picture of. And I've moved cameras to different places on the farm, and had a little spring-fed pond that I showed you and Mike Adams a few weeks ago. And I thought, man, maybe he's down here. So this whole time, hadn't had a picture of him. Moved to that spring-fed pond, got a picture of him the next day.
Yep.
And he's come through there just about every morning since then. And but my point in saying that is, I've had cameras all over this 100-acre farm, and until I got it in that particular spot, he's staying right in that core area.
Yep.
He's
Hey,
not
let me
going
ask you
far.
this. When you hunt city deer in places where there's a lot of people and buses and cars, have you ever noticed you don't see them at daylight? It's like when everybody goes to get in their cars and the buses and everybody's moving around and you can hear stuff, and then it's not daylight. They don't get to you till 7:30.
They've adapted, I think, a lot in the city areas. And like I say, this afternoon I took Anthony through and was showing him a lot of the areas there around town. And these deer, they have adapted. They're standing in behind apartment complexes and dealerships and Walmarts and things like that.
Hunting zones. You can't hunt. No projectiles in Mount Juliet.
That's
you can't
right.
shoot anything in Mount Juliet.
I asked him, I said, did a lot of them get run over? Because, I mean, trust me, I know how the traffic is up here. And he said, well, you can tell when the rut's on.
Yeah, you can tell for sure.
I mean, other than that, though, they'll pretty much stand right on the side of the road and eat, you know. And
Well, they get run
just,
over all the, you know,
they're
at
used to
nighttime, it's on. I mean, you can see posts this year. They'll be happening.
Yeah.
Police, where people's hit them in
Yeah.
cars. There'll be one that's a 14-pointer
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
that was got hit by a car.
It seems like the biggest ones always get hit by a car.
That's right.
Yeah.
He can't run by in a tree stand. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, I'm going there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna
there
go
you
out on the interstate.
Yeah.
and
There he
chase
is.
this doe across the interstate. But it will tell you real quick when the chasing's starting as we get on into late October, early
Yes,
I'll
November.
tell you what, I've noticed a lot of deer, that how much more deer Tennessee has every year.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
It's-
used to, you go down 40 going to my
It's
work
exploding.
and stuff where I work at, and you'll see one dead here. Man, it ain't deer season no more. They're dead every day. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There's just armadillos. Well, Cheatham County and down there at White Bluff and stuff ain't nothing but armadillos. They're all over the road.
It's the way it is
like
at home.
possums. I'm like, where'd they come
Yeah.
from? You know?
Right now, it's armadillos and skunks.
Right.
And
yeah.
it seems like they must migrate because in another month from now, you will have possums and stuff
right.
all on there.
Right.
Well, guys, we're going to go over and do this week's Product of the Week. This week's Product of the Week's been sponsored by Caney Fork Outdoors. You can stop in and see them at the Donaldson Plaza Shopping Center there, right here in Nashville, or go and get off I-40 at the Center Hill Dam exit, follow it down towards the dam, stop in there at the Big Rock Market, and they can get you outfitted and get you a mighty good lunch while you're in there too before you head to the river. So tell them thank you for everything they do for us here at the show. All right, we're just talking about doing some of these mock scrapes, and I got a couple of products here tonight. Now these are from Nose Down Scents. This is Jason Caldwell, and these two particular things, one of them in this hand, this is the Bio Buck, and this one here is the Robo Doe. A lot of times we'll use these scents here to get mock scrapes started. And on the back of this, I don't know if you can really read the label, these are CWD certified. Now what they mean by that is, this is a synthetic blend. This is not a natural urine, it's a synthetic blend urine. These are fantastic for getting a mock scrape started. Any kind of buck scent. Again, I add doe scent to it also. A lot of people think scrapes, they just think bucks. Does communicate through these scrapes just like bucks do.
Sure
and the
do.
buck's used to smelling a doe in there just like he is a buck. But anyhow, you can get these. Look up Jason at nosedownscents.com. You can contact them that way. They're also on Facebook. But like I say, these are great products right here to get a good mock scrape started. They also have a big line of cover scents and different other hot doe. There's lots of different scents that Jason produces, and fantastic way again right now, get those mock
Yep.
scrapes started, get some of this in it, and you'll start being able to inventory those deer. Guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to open the phone lines for you. You'll be able to call in with your questions or comments. We'll have some more Southern Wisdom Waters.